Hello and welcome everyone. Today is a new day and ICSE exam is drawing very near. Semester 2 we are going to sit, and before we enter into that exam hall, we need to be prepared. All our questions, answers, everything needs to be ready. So we have already posted all the explanations and everything from English and literature as well as language. So the only thing that's left is here and there few questions. So we will keep preparing that too. So one topic that you have was my greatest Olympic prize. So that we are going to do. Today is going to be the first day of it. You will get around I think 4 to 5 questions which we have missed, and those are probable questions. So I thought let's not leave that apart. Let's finish it off. And of course, other questions also you will get in my playlist. You search for that, prepare that, and of course, don't leave these questions too. So without any delay, let's begin with the topic and let's discuss the questions. So all important questions to be discussed with answers. This is the first day of my greatest Olympic prize. So, Y is missing. I'm so sorry. Olympic spelling Y is missing. So OLYMPIC, Olympic prize. So be careful with this. Next, let's move to question number 1. Question number 1. Why was Jesse not worried about Hitler's declaration of supremacy? Why was he not even bothered about it? Because you see, Jesse was not worried about Hitler's views of Aryan supremacy because he had trained himself. Okay, he had trained himself a number of days, a couple of months before the Olympics. So he was confident that he would be able to score the correct number of scores. So he had no fear within him. Furthermore, he had set the record for the running broad jump as a sophomore at Ohio State University. A year before, he knew that he was the best athlete and the narrow views of a dictator wouldn't affect. So the narrow views of the dictator is not going to affect him. He was assured about it because he had scored a lot of. He had set a record already in the Ohio State University where he was studying. It was a record, so he was not worried that some dictator like Hitler would, some theory of this Hitler dictator would be bothering him at all. So this is the first answer. All these questions are going to be 3 marks each. So accordingly, you are going to write. Question number 2. An angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes. Do you think this statement proved to be true for Jesse? Explain. Now this is very easy. You can all frame it, isn't it? Jesse was constantly making mistakes. He was angry, thinking about the ideas of a dictator. That okay, my blood is going to be the supreme one. There can be nobody as good as me and my clan. So these kind of concepts will bother you from the inside. So he became angry. But the issue is when you are angry, it will constantly bother you so much that you will not be able to motivate yourself or not be able to concentrate on certain things. So that happened to him. What happened? Yes, the statement turned out to be true for Jesse, even though he said he was not bothered by Hitler's views of Aryan supremacy. He was feeling tense and anxious because he wanted to prove himself. He was a Negro, he wanted to prove himself also. So in that fear, in that stress, he made elementary mistakes during the trial, and he never would have even qualified for the round if somebody else would not have come for him. Who is that person? He is of course Laszlo. Next, this is question number 2 over. Question number 3. What made Jesse tensed soon after? So soon after he became very tensed. What was it that made him tensed? So this is again almost the same question, but then again I have kept it in a different way because this way also it can come. So what will you write over here? After fouling twice, he twice fouled, and you cannot foul 3 times, then you will be disqualified from the game totally. So he fouled for 2 times, and that made Jesse extremely tensed because he thought that if he fouls another time, after so many practices, after so good scores, he is going to be disqualified. So that would be something that that will bother you to the core of your heart. So yes, Jesse was tensed because he thought he would not qualify, and Laszlo soon came to talk to him and reaffirmed his confidence. So Jesse was soon after tensed because he this may come as a 1 mark question also. You just have to write that he fouled 2 times in that tension and in that fear, in that stress, whether he will be able to prove himself or not. That is going to be answer for question number 3. I hope this one is doubt free. Next question is, what was Laslong's views about Aryan supremacy theory? What is it that that is his views, that is his understanding of the theory? So even though Laslong had been trained in the Nazi youth movement, he did not believe in the Nazi superiority theory, and that was more than Jesse did. So of course Jesse was annoyed with it. Of course Jesse did not like this theory at all. But over to that, Laslong, being somebody from the troop of Hitler himself, he also did not have that trust that okay, because I am superior, because I am German, I will have that, I will be more qualified than the others just for the sake of my blood. He did not trust that. So Laslong also, he was there in the troop of Hitler, but he was not following the ideas of Hitler. So you will have to write that. Next, coming to question number 5. This one is a bigger one. How did the real friendship between the two grow? Why did it initially seem unusual? So, real friendship between whom? Who are the two friends? Of course, Jesse Owens and Laslong. So, how did this friendship grow between them? This, of course, grew when Laslong came to help Jesse Owens, to give him some kind of confidence that you can do it, you'll be able to do it, and to just help him a bit so that rest of it he can do it, he can perform. So that real friendship was born when Laslong's helped Jesse Owens to at least qualify. Then again, he can of course score well if he has qualified. First, that stress was not allowing you to, sometimes that will pull you back, no? That did not allow him to qualify almost. So Laslong helped him. So what would be the answer, exact answer? The friendship between Laslong and Jesse grew when Laslong came to his room at night in the Olympic Village, where they talked about a variety of topics. This you have to write more about, first you have to include something about that real friendship that grew immediately when Laslong had helped Jesse Owens, had given that priceless, what should I say, idea, okay, or suggestion or advice, which helped Jesse Owens to successfully qualify. So that was the first help, and this grew that real friendship, this helped them to grow the real friendship between them. Why did it initially seem unusual? This initially seemed unusual. What was the reason? Unusual because the reference of, this is what? This is kind of a friendship where one person is from the troop of Hitler, where the other person is a Negro and hates this Aryan superiority theory and hates all of the people over there who believes in it. But this is initially unusual. This apparently looked unusual. But because Laslong did not have this within him, that this kind of a theory that we are superior to others because of our blood, this friendship continued and lasted longer than anything else. So it initially seemed unusual but became true to the core. So that's all with this topic. I know not all. We will get another day 2 of it, because you have few more questions that I will add in my next video. So if you have watched and liked it till the end, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and of course be with me till the end. Thank you. Bye bye.